So we have seen how to create a simple class, right? Because always make sure that always just start with a simple answer. Why do we shift from procedure oriented approach to object oriented programming approach? Because in POA, that is procedure oriented approach, every task and subtask is dependent always as a function, and if a function is dependent on another function, if we have an error in one function, the software needs examination of all the functions, right? That's where debugging and or removing errors will become difficult. So that is where computer scientists wanted to make sure that they felt a necessity of new approach. That is the reason C is procedure oriented programming language, C++ is object oriented programming language. That is the reason never ever compare any programming language. Every programming language has its own advantages, because when you go for web applications and mobile applications, Java comes into handy. Building of operating systems or kernel based systems, embedded C is for internet of things and operating system approaches. You see C programming always stands in top. When you go for analysis or building web applications, testing, Python offers everywhere. It is taking holding hands of every approach. So if you learn Python, you can hold on to anything, whether it is IoT or data science or AI, testing, database access, frameworks, big data. Even you believe it or not, SAP applications are also being made with Python because they are migrating. So everything can be done with Python. Just always remember, how do you go with a very simple logic, right? So here when I say a class, we are just relating it to how do we simply create a class and how do we try to access it, because always remember, a class is basically generic in nature. It contains the data and all the methods. We have seen a simple example. Now my intention is to make you understand how do you just create an object and how do you declare a class and what made us to go for initialization of objects. That's where we use some special methods, right? So that's my intention to make you understand, because generally if you just remember, when we have executed, when we have gone for execution of special methods, like you see what does this name will provide you, main function, right? Always you see these double underscores, they are all Python language specified mentions, right? We do not use them. Python internally handles them because they are all are called as language specific defined special names or language defined special names. They end with double underscores. Even I'll be discussing about the importance of underscore, but what I do is I'll just define a simple function. My function name is display, right? And the reason I'm always telling you to follow the docstring, you'll understand now, because always docstring will give you the description of a function or a method or even for a class, whatever it is. I am just giving the docstring as sample demo, okay? And what I want to print is, I just give print observe the output clearly. That's what I wanted to show you, because generally when you see the result, you will be shocked. When I call the function, you are expecting only observe the output, right? Yes, obviously that is the same thing, but I'll just change a very simple logic here. Instead of giving one print, I'll just use one more thing. Along with display, I am using my special method, which is doc, because generally if you see in the above output also directory, you have here dictionary, directory and document, because these are all naming conventions. In this we have operators, that is less than, equal to, less than, greater than, equal to, modules and everything. So those are all special methods. We'll deal in detail when we go for operator overloading, what made Python to you, because Python uses it, we need not use it. So here I'm using doc. Now when you call display function, you are surprised to see the another result. There you go. The first result is observe the output. The next result is when you gave display.doc, what is the documentation string it is giving you? Sample demo. So those are all language specified names. That is the reason it is very good to follow some naming convention. That is the reason we always tell you, don't use the keywords as function names or class names. Always make sure that when you write a class name, make it with capital letter. It's not that in Python you have public class, private class, but when you make use of underscores and double underscores, you are specifying it, right? You need not worry, we'll understand in detail about it, but doc will give you the documentation string and name will give you the main function, because that means Python is running that particular program as a script, not as a module, and will understand the importance of initialization. But before that, let's see how do you declare a class and create an object in a very simple way. That is my intention in this particular video. So I just go for simple class declaration, where I'll take an example of an employee. I want to get the details of the employee, right? You take your own details, it's up to you. And I'll show you how do we use how do we write the same program by initializing the objects here. That's where I introduce you to the new method called as constructor. So what do you mean by constructor? In general terms, always relate in English language. What do you mean by construct? You are building something, right? The same way, constructor is a special method that is used to initialize the variables. I'll show you what do you mean by initializing the variables and what happens, what is the difference in both of them. So first, let's try to declare this class. What is my class name? My class name is employee. You need not give object here because the syntax looks like this. You need not go for object. We'll understand when to use those objects, and we have so many methods in this, right? So first let's discuss very simple thing. Sample employee class is my doc string. Try writing documentation strings and try writing comments. It will be easy for you. So write my method. I am not declaring any variables. Directly I am going for writing function, but function inside a class, that is called a method. So my method name is data because I want the data of the employees. Here I write my arguments generally. So always remember, whenever you are passing some arguments into a methods inside a class, the first argument you try to create for the object will be self. You can use anything. What does this self does is basically, when we call a method using an object, the address of the specific object will directly pass to the data method, and self will be responsible to collect the address, because this is similar to pointers, right? This pointer of C++ or this reference in Java. Just make it self. What do you mean by self? It's our self, right? The same way, I use this self and I wanted to take name, age and salary of the employees, right? I want to get the data. So refer with self. Self dot, you can just give anything here. Name is equal to n and self dot age is equal to a and self dot salary is equal to yes. You can do so many things. You can make them as private. You can make them as private members by giving underscore. You can use double underscores. Yeah, so many things. But here I am making it very simple. And I want to display that data. That's it. I just wanted to display that data. So display data of. So how do you collect the address? By using self. Because always remember, self is like this pointer of C++. Whenever we call a method, we're using an object, it directly go to the method and the address will be collected by a method in a variable called self. That's it. So here whatever you want to give, you can just give the print function. It's up to you. So how do you write it? Self dot name comma self dot age comma self dot salary. If you want, you can write in 3 statements. It's up to you. How do you write it? Now we have defined two methods. Very good. Now how do you just initialize this class? Obviously you create an object, right? That is where you give something like E is equal to employee. You just see, whenever you write this, it asks for the source, because this creates a nameless object. It creates a nameless object and stores its address in E1, right? So when you save and when you execute this, obviously make sure always take the directory of E. What you are getting? Data and display data, because those are the 2 methods which you have declared in it. Data and display data. So how do you access the method variables which you have declared in it? So obviously it is expecting 3 arguments, right? N, A and S. When does it expect? So when you give print of E also, it will directly give you the method, right? Main, the function, because it is run as a main script, and the class name is employee object. right? Even when you just pass e dot, what are the variables and what are the methods? So e dot display data, it is expecting nothing because it throws you an error. Why? Employee object has no attribute name, because you see self dot name, self dot age, you have just created an object, you did not initialize any variables. So first call data method, because data method will have NAS. NAS stands for N for name, A for age. There you go. You pass the variables over there. I mean the values. Saket, I give 27 and I write some value. And you can mention, you can make it only integer or only string. We'll do in detail. Okay, you don't see any print. When do you see the print? When you call the display method. That is where, see, obviously you gave all of them, then you're automatically getting name age. There you go, Saket 27271. And again, when you go for e dot, when you pass the arguments over there, when you give age, you get age, and when you give name, you get name, and when you give salary, you get everything. So in that way, we are creating an object and we are declaring the class, right? So you don't get any error until and unless, you don't get any error until and unless you directly execute this and you call first display data, because it is expecting name. That's what you got an error here, such as attribute error. Employee object has no attribute name because you are not passing any of these values, right? So this is the first way how do you create two methods, right? So here every object has data and methods, and every object, make sure that whenever you create an object, it will clearly try to make sure whatever the methods or variables passed into it will try to access it. So you need to fill those gaps. Now we'll do the same program in a different way. How do I do that? I just go for initialization of the object, because that's where you try to do it. When you go for object initialization, what do you mean by initialization? Here I can use directly by passing some values here, or I use a special method called as double underscore init double underscore, where we can try to initialize the object. That is very, very important. And even if you see any program which is default or any module, it compulsory contains double underscore init double underscore method, which is generally called as constructor. That's very, very important. So we can initialize methods. We can directly initialize the methods like data, or using a special method, which is very, very important, or using our special method. What is the special method which we are going to use now? That is double underscore init double underscore, right? Because you'll understand once we create it. So first let's write the same program. What I do is I'll just write the same program by giving the double underscore init method. So why to write again? What do? We just copy this. And we just paste it here. We'll write one more special method. I just define double underscore init double underscore. Okay, we are just writing double underscore init because it is similar to constructor function of C++ or Java. Because if you are aware of that, it is same again here. Because now whenever we create an object, some space is allocated in memory, and this double underscore init is called, because it doesn't return any value. It is mainly for initialization. So the first argument is always self. You can use any other word, but in Python we generally use it with the word self. So I just define n is equal to code. I just giving my n is equal to code, and a is equal to some value 2, and s is equal to 25. Okay, this is what we are giving, and you can directly pass the same thing here. Whatever you have written above, you can just pass the same thing. You need not worry. Self dot name is equal to n, self dot age is equal to a, You'll find the difference once we execute it. Self dot salary is equal to yes. Fine. Okay. Because generally, how do you access it? So always remember, you need to create an object, because if you are trying to initialize, or if you are trying to access the methods or variables inside a class, always create an object. So s is equal to employee. Okay. So whenever I write employee, see source or doc sample employee class. So I'll save it and I'll execute this. For sure, you don't say anything over there. Just give directory of yes. What you are getting? Age, data, display data, because data and display data are both the methods, and age, name and salary are the variables. But before that, you did not see. You did not see directly those age, name and salary, because now the variables are initialized, and now when you try to access like this, yes dot, you just pass, even though you did not give age, what did you getting? 2, because you already made them as default in this. That's where we have, remember, in function you are making the default arguments, right? So that's how you find the difference. And even when you call name, age, you get everything. Yes dot name, you get yes dot salary. Even if you give s dot data, you can pass your own thing. So I don't want to pass here. I just give s dot display data. S dot display data. What do you get? You get code 225. Okay, what is the difference? You are initializing the variables here. So the main difference is here data is used to modify, whereas init method is used to initialize the object. Okay, what I do is I'll just keep these 3 lines in comment. Now you find the difference. I'll save it, and when I execute this, first thing is syntax, because I gave triple underscore here. I gave triple quotes over there. First I'll make sure I'll give hashtags, because we have given there double triple quotes, right? So it becomes a mistake. So save, and when you go for executing this, what do? You just call directory of yes, where what you're getting now, age, display data, name, salary, because we already gave self dot name equal to a and self dot age. So when you try to access, yes dot age 2 already, and s dot name, yes dot name code, and s dot salary, right? So s dot, there is no data now. What is the other method you have? Display data. S dot display data. It's a method which we are printing because we did not call parenthesis. There you go. If you want to modify, then what you need to do? You cannot directly give it, because you have already given some default arguments here. So if you don't want to use them, just make them separate. Just make sure that you directly give some default things here. You need not worry about directly accessing them, because these are already initialized. So that's where if you want to modify, just have this method. That's where even every built-in module, whatever we see in Python, calendar module, date time, everything will have this special method, which is nothing but constructor. If you don't want to use this, now you'll understand. I'll just remove them. You need to just work on all of the things, right? You'll understand now. So I'll save this now. When I execute this, see, init is missing 3 required positional arguments, because you have directly initialized the object. Yes, you are not passing any of these objects. So when you just initialize it, it will throw you. It will ask you to pass compulsory. So in that way, you can give code. I'll just make it as Saket 27 and 7458. So you just try in multiple ways, then automatically you see the difference over there. Nothing printed over there, because you did not call the display method, right? So when you call display method, you can see the result directly. That is where whenever you see missing required positional argument, that means you are not passing any of the arguments to the variables which you have declared. Those are not default now. You wanted to pass them. That's where you find differences when you initialize the object. When you initialize the object using double underscore init method because it is used for initialization. When you go for directly writing, that's where you modify it. So you have so many differences. This is how you create classes. You declare class and you create an object, and how you initialize the object with the help of double underscore init method, because it is generally used for double underscore init is generally used to initialize the object. That is very key point. Just keep in mind and write your own methods. It will be very much easier to go ahead, because you'll be understanding the importance of underscores and double underscores. But before that, you see what happens if you make any one underscore. Why should I write only one underscore? I'll save and I'll execute this. See, employee takes no arguments. How does it will accept? It's not special method now, because when you pass double underscore, that will be special method. That's where Python has some naming conventions, and when you call the method only, it will be executing the result, because you have the print there only, right? It's a common sense. So just make it very simple. Before going into types of methods, we'll understand the importance of underscores also. So we have understood how to create an object, how to initialize it with the help of special method.